Hello guys, it's a warm welcome back to the channel. This is Alpha Omega Daily. Do you know something? I made a video yesterday about how safe Bangkok was, or Bangkok is. Take a look at that video if you want. But that kind of generated a bit of interest, and I got a couple of comments from a few people, and namely, first of all, Andrew Mack, and thank you very much Andrew Mack for this suggestion, because this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to highlight some of the dangers of Bangkok. But before we go and do that, you said, in my experience, the most dangerous things in Bangkok are the pavements or sidewalks and the traffic. I carry a small LED torch purely to prevent me tripping over in a darker soy and doing myself damage. Although I'll also give the soy dogs a wide berth. Having said that, I wouldn't get blind drunk in any country in the world because that's just tempting fate. Well, I agree with you on most of those points about getting blind drunk. Yeah, getting blind drunk anywhere is a risky deal. But you know, a lot of us do it a lot of the time. I've done it. I mean, not blind drunk, but I got very drunk in Bangkok, and I've never had a problem really, to be honest. Thank you very much, Andrew Mack, and also Pierre Martins. You sound like you're from the Netherlands. I'm not sure if that's right or wrong. Your comments are always interesting, but should avoid filming yourself outside in a noisy environment. It adds nothing to the video. Thank you very much. Well, this is hopefully not a noisy environment, but it is a dark soy, just to highlight the dangers of Bangkok, let's say. Apart from the street dogs and traffic, I have always felt safe in Thailand, and I agree with you. He's talking about the video that I made about feeling safe in Thailand. But because of the fact that Andrew Mack has mentioned that the sidewalks are not safe, the traffic is not safe, let's say, and he carries an LED torch around with him, I'm going to take you on a little journey with me now, just to show you what Andrew Mack is talking about, and a little more besides. So let's take it for granted the street dogs are a danger. Let's take it for granted that street food can be dangerous because you can get food poisoning. Let's look at the sidewalks and the traffic as you come with me now on the dangers of Bangkok. So now guys, we're actually out and about on the streets of Bangkok, and you don't have to go very far to know what Andrew Mack is talking about. So I'm just going to turn the camera the other way around, and you'll have a look at I'm going to bring this down to sidewalk level, and you'll see just how precarious the footpath sidewalks are here in Bangkok. So it might be a bit hard to see in the light, but you can see here that the flagstones are actually up like this. I think it's something to do with that tree, and the actual border, let's say, of the footpath is completely dislodged. And as you see further on as we walk, these flagstones are proud of those ones. They sink down, and you can easily trip over that. Some more examples here. And just here, like this. That really, if you weren't watching what you were doing, you'd easily trip up over that. And here again, here. So you can see how precarious it is. Even if you're paying attention to what you're doing, you can easily come a cropper on the footpaths here. But there's another aspect to what Andrew Mack has pointed out here. And it's not just the state of the footpaths. Like, you can easily see why he says he has to carry around an LED torch. I'm watching what I'm doing as I'm walking here. You can easily see why he has to carry around an LED torch as he's going around. But there's another thing that maybe he isn't aware of, I don't know. But I've been aware of this for years and years and years. I've said it to so many Thai people. They can't offer any explanation as to why this is. I'm not talking about the footpaths, although it's related to the footpath. just take a look at this. Now where we are now, the lighting is extremely bad, so I have the ISO. If you know about photography, the ISO is an artificial way of increasing the light, and it takes away from the quality of the video, so I apologize. It might look a bit grainy at this stage, but I'm trying to put maximum light on this because there's no light here. This is a pedestrian footpath or walkway that goes over the main road. But the thing about it is, if you can see in the light there, I don't know if you can, I'm going to put this light up to the maximum. The image might be a bit grainy, but look, I don't know if you can see that. That's the gap that you have to walk through. The footpath, that pedestrian bridge was just put on the footpath with no real consideration for how people are supposed to get around. So I mean, I can demonstrate this. I'm going to walk backwards, but you can see how difficult it is for me. Look, I'm going back to fit through, and if you're incapacitated in any way, I don't know if you can see it there, if you're incapacitated in any way, there's very little chance there's absolutely no chance you have of getting through that gap. What you've got to do is you got to go onto the main road. I've done it with my son in a buggy. I had to go onto the main road to get around it. So again, a hazard, and that's what it is. So Andrew Mack, you're right about the footpaths being a hazard, but this pedestrian bridge, which is there to serve a purpose, and it serves that purpose, but it also acts as a hindrance, as I'm climbing over it, a hindrance to pedestrians who want to get around it, because it's absolutely impossible to, well, it's not possible, it's possible to get around it on foot, but if you're incapacitated, like in a wheelchair or visually impaired or whatever it is, you're going to find it very hard to do so. So now focus on the traffic. Traffic in Bangkok is not the worst in the world by any means. I've been, or if you've been to Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam, you know what I'm talking about. It's more civilized here than there, but it's not half as civilized as it would be where I'm from. I'm from Ireland, and Irish drivers are very polite on the road. Here, it's every man for himself. The one thing you'll notice is there's motorcycles everywhere. They're in the middle lane, they're in the outside lane, they're in the inside lane. They'll overtake it, they'll undertake it, they'll pull out in front of you. And it's just the way it is. So that is another hazard or danger. So basically what I've listed so far is we have the undulating, if that's the right word to use, footpaths or sidewalks. We have the hazards that are placed in the middle of the footpaths, and we have the traffic. Now, excuse me, that isn't even mentioning the street dogs. Luckily enough, during the recording of this video, I haven't come across any street dogs, but I'm not on a side street, I'm not on a back street as the light fades again. But I haven't come across any street dogs. I haven't encountered any street dogs. Now where I'm going now, I know there's a dog here, I know there's a dog in here, but I'm not going to venture in. I'm keeping my eyes and wits about me. This is a business premises, and what they do is when they close up at night, and it's 7 o'clock now, they will leave the dog just roaming around, and there's no gate on this, and if you wander in here, you're likely to come to encounter that dog, and whatever happens. One of the things to remember, if you injure an animal in Thailand, you can be held responsible, and you can be held accountable, let's say, and if you are responsible for the injury, you can be prosecuted by the owner. And I don't know enough about that. So almost even, and I'm not sure about this, even if the dog comes for you, you want to be very sure that that dog's coming for you, because if he just makes a gesture towards you, and you injure that dog, you can be held responsible for that injury. That's my understanding. So, just to finish off on this, all of what I've listed below, for me, adds to the character of this city, because of the fact that it doesn't follow the same regulation as the EU, for example, which I think is over-regulated. And it kind of is that Here it seems to be your health and safety is your own responsibility by and large, and you should take care of yourself. And there's a thing in Europe, especially in Ireland, called the compo culture, compensation culture. You trip over a curbstone, you sue the local authority. You know, I know we're paying taxes and they should, you know, provide a proper infrastructure, let's say. But sometimes we take it too far, and I think that living in Thailand, where you have undulating sidewalks and walkways blocking the pavement, you know, at the end of the day, it's an inconvenience, but it just puts the onus of responsibility back on the pedestrian to take due care of themselves. I don't know, it's one way of looking at it. You know, I don't know what your opinion is, but I think it adds to the character of the city that I love, which is Bangkok. And I think that Thailand in general is a wonderful place to live because it's so refreshingly different. So there you go, guys, and I hope you find that this channel is refreshingly different. And if you do, and if whatever you do, or I don't know how you feel about it, but whatever you feel about it, I hope you feel that you can click that subscribe button, click the like button, click the share button, do all those wonderful things, and I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me.